There is a difference between mission and missions.
Right.
Our mission, our purpose is something different than missions, the places that we go, whether it is right outside our church building that we're trying to reach people to another state, to another part of the world. Now, Tim, you just said something about there's been a shift in terms of focusing on other parts of the world. Will you say a little more about that?
Well, there was a time in the life of the church where the mission was missions, because the place where we were going to be in ministry was someplace else in the world and not out the front door. And very, very astute people, because the church was so much a part of the culture and so much a part of the systems that we were a part of, very astute people knew how to use the church to get their money out of other places to their advantage.
Yeah.
And so, that even in the United Methodist Church, there was a shift in the late 90s when we put a mission in the discipline. We'd never had a mission in the discipline before.
Until the 90s? Are you serious?
Until 1996 was when the mission statement we have now was put into the discipline for the first time.
I think I knew that, but I have suppressed that, forgotten that, because it still boggles my mind that it took until 1996 for that to happen.
Well, the only part that was put in 1996 was to make disciples of Jesus Christ.
Transformation of the world came later.
Transformation of the world came later. But that's part of what shows us the shift that's taken place in the culture and should have taken place in the church. And that is, the mission field now has moved from someplace else back to the front door, back to where we live in the community. And so we're trying to figure out ways to be in mission in our communities again, instead of just going someplace else in the world. So, Sarah, when you say there's a difference between mission and missions, that's part of the tension we have in the church right now.
I'm going to try and say this as kind and generous as I can, and if it comes off as snarky, I apologize. Missions in other parts of the world makes us feel good. Mission outside our front door and missions outside our front door is hard, slow work. There is no instant gratification.
It's intimidating.
It's absolutely intimidating. And
we have to be responsible for what's out our front door. We can just write a check for something someplace else in the world.
And so that is why we're having a conversation today about then and now, a call to missional leadership.